Good morning, sir. Are you Andrew Richie?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Richie has a motion to revoke his probation and cause number 22-40568. And what is the announcement?
First state, Your Honor, you gotta understand.
Yes, Your Honor. In talking to the Officer Ruiz, his probation officer, it appears as though due to medical issues that apparently began almost immediately after Mr. Richie was on probation, we have had a discussion about what might be the best thing to do with Mr. Richie here. It seems that he has now been cleared medically, and please interrupt me if I'm saying the wrong thing, Mr. Ruiz, but he only was able to report 9 times since 2023 due to that illness, and he has completed a CSR. What we would like to do instead of revocation is extend his probation by 2 years to make up for the time he has essentially missed on probation,
Sure.
so that he has the full period.
Is that an agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
So we can do it 2 ways. If it's by agreement, Mr. Ruiz can just sign that modification order and you guys can dismiss the motion to revoke, or we can go through the motion to revoke and I can order it that way.
We'll sign. Oh, he has the ankle. That was something we can.
Well, we'll get
Yeah,
first things
we'll get to
first.
that.
I don't have a problem with him being completed. I don't have a problem with that at all either. He paid for all his fees. He completed his community service. He did his anger management class.
So even without reporting, it sounds like he's done everything else he's supposed to.
So it's your discretion, but I don't have problems with him being completed.
We'll defer.
Let me look back real quick at the I've got that. I was just gonna see if I had my old PSI.
And Your Honor, it's my understanding that he paid for his community service hours, not actually having spent the time doing community service hours. It's the state's position that he complete more than 9 months on the charge that he was given probation for.
No, I don't, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. Sounds like I need to see the PSI, but we don't know where it would be, do we?
State.
I mean, because, obviously they're given that opportunity to. You have one? Can I take a quick look at it? Thinking if there's. He obviously wasn't arrested for anything else during that period of time. I don't, let's look at one more thing. Yeah, just give me a minute to kind of make sure I have a full picture. Decide.
I should have numbers.
Yeah.
So what I'm inclined to do is kind of meet you guys in the middle, just based on the nature of the offense and some of the issues, that I want to make sure have been addressed fully so that there's not this issue again is, I'll agree to a 1 year instead of a 2 year, extension. So that started, I guess it would start technically January. So it'll be till January of next year. And make sure everything is going well. There's not any other issues that need to be addressed. And then everything ever goes fine, then you'll be done in less than a year. If you'll sign that, then you can either you go ahead and dismiss that motion, or do you want me to go through the motion and rule on it?
I'll just dismiss the motion.
Okay, I'll sign that when it comes through, but you need to stay and make sure you sign that order with your attorney that you agree to that 1 year extension. I'm gonna leave that up to probation, obviously. Well, that was a condition of the bond because where are you living, Mr. Richie?
In near one right now.
Okay. And do you intend to stay? You say like you're not gonna stay there. Is that where you intend to stay or no?
I want to see if I can stay in Harris County or here, it's my job and I have a home there.
So you need to talk to probation about that. Is the biggest thing is, do you have to report? You'll have to report in Harris County and by mail here for the rest of that year. And I don't have an issue with that. So because that GPS was the condition of your bond, that's technically over today. So you will be able to remove that.
Yes, ma'am.
Here's the thing, if you don't do what you're supposed to and report in mail here or by online and in person in Harris County, if it gets transferred, you'll be right back in here on a motion to revoke your probation and we won't have this probably nice of a conversation. Okay,
Yes,
all right. You visit with your probation officer before you leave. You can get that signed and he'll talk to you about the process to get it transferred to Harris County.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Same here.
Sorry, Tommy, that's my fault, you know.
It's okay. Good morning, sir. Are you Kenneth Spears? And Mr. Pageant, will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment?
Yes, sure.
Get there. All right. And. All right, and we're going on to the full indictment.
Yes, Judge. That's my understanding, Your Honor.
Mr. Spears, in cause number 25 DCCR 1425, you're charged with the state jail felony offense of fraudulent use or possession of credit or debit cards from July 17th of 2025. Your indictment alleges that you were previously convicted of attempted forgery by possession, a state jail felony, May 1st of 2000. Also, well, it looks like on that same date, 3 offenses of attempted forgery by possession. And then after those were final, you were convicted of possession of a controlled substance, a state jail felony, March 22nd of 2006. 2 cases of possession of a controlled substance on that same date. And then after that was final, or those were final, you were convicted of the state jail felony offense of evading arrest or detention, January 6th of 2014. And how do you plead to the charge of fraudulent use or possession of a credit or debit card? I'm sorry.
Good.
And are those prior convictions true?
Yes.
Did you enter your plea of guilty and true freely and voluntarily? Speak up, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you plead guilty because you actually did what they charged you with? I have here on the tablet some documents that have your signature on them that the state's marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Paget? Do you fully understand them? And it looks like there is not agreement, which means you're leaving your punishment up to the court. And the range of punishment for this offense with those prior convictions would be that of a 3rd-degree felony, which is between 2 years and up to 10 years. And what that means is that I can sentence you anywhere in that range of punishment. You have every right to have a jury come in and decide two things. One, if you're guilty or not. And then the second is you could leave your punishment up to that jury. If we go forward, you'll be waiving that. Is that what you want to do? And so there is no agreement. So he does have a right to appeal, but you guys have signed the post-conviction
We have
waivers.
changed things a few times. It's correct. We need to, I need to take it back and I'll.
Judge, the state has no objection to you.
I'll just mark for the
Modify.
Yes, we have no
So
objection.
because there's no agreement, you do have some rights to appeal depending on what happens and you
And that is how I-
understand that as well. Do you also understand, if you're not a US citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law? Speak up, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And it looks like the state is recommending, and of course, we'll see when the pre-sentence report comes back, a 5-year term. You are asking through your attorney for a deferred probation. Is that correct? State tenders number 1.
No objections to stage 1, Your Honor.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Spears is not competent?
None, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty and true, freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and understand the nature and the consequences of your plea. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to reset your case for sentencing so that the probation department can do a pre-sentence report. That'll give me more information about you, this case, your history, and then we'll come back later for sentencing. Anything that you think is important for me to know, get that information to Mr. Paget and he will present it to me on your behalf when we come back. All right. You need to stop and talk to probation on your way out of the courtroom today, and she's at that desk right over there. All right, we'll see you back at sentencing.
Thank you.
you.
Thanks, Judge.
Good morning. Are you Duma Turner?
Yes, ma'am.
And we are client with the formal reading of the indictment.
Yep.
Mr. Turner, in cause number 24, DCCR 1998, the state has elected to proceed on the lesser included offense of a Class A misdemeanor criminal mischief from July 19th of 2024. And how do you plead to that charge?
Plead guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you pleading guilty because you did what they charged you with?
Yes.
I have here on the tablet some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Gallimore?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you fully understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes.
And it looks like the agreement that you've reached. My computer's stuck. Is for how long is the probation?
We didn't put that down, Judge, but I believe the parties assumed it was 2 years.
I didn't even notice that it wasn't written there. Sorry, Judge.
It's
2
all right.
years.
So it looks like the agreement is for a 2-year deferred probation. There would be a $300 fine, and you would be ordered to pay restitution in the amount of $1,141.81 and follow all of the other rules and conditions of probation. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
And are you, excuse me, a US citizen?
Yes.
State tenders number 1,
No objection.
it's admitted. Any evidence that Mr. Turner's not competent?
Yeah, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Turner, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and understand the nature and the consequences of your plea. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, at this time, I'm going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney and defer all proceedings and place you on probation for 2 years. You're ordered to pay the $300 fine as well as the $1,141.81 of restitution and to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. If you do that, this is a great opportunity because you don't have a conviction on your record. And at the end of your probation, if you successfully complete it, the case will actually be dismissed and you'll never have a conviction. The other side to that, though, is if you violate any condition of probation, you can be brought back into court. You can be found guilty of the offense and sentenced to the Jefferson County Jail for up to 1 year. Do you understand? I'm sorry. And so with regard to the restitution, I want you to make sure you understand you need to start paying that immediately. Okay, so I want to get it paid. You need to make a priority of paying something every month on that, because what can happen is you can do everything else correctly on probation. But if you don't pay that restitution and at the end of the probation, I make a finding that you could have paid it, you could still be revoked even though you've done everything else right. So it's very important that that gets paid, okay?
Mhm.
I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you have waived your right to appeal. You need to have a seat here. The courtroom probation is going to call you up to her desk. She's sitting right over there when she's ready to go over all of your paperwork. So listen for her to call your name, okay? Good luck to you, sir. Can you see if Mr. Doyle in his, oh, there you are, Mr. Doyle.